Hello friends, welcome back to the Casual Foodist. I'm Brianna and today we are doing a bit of a magic trick. We are going to turn these two simple, humble cans of white beans into something that is nourishing, cozy, and delicious. Today we are making garlic Parmesan braised beans and greens. This dish is comforting, hearty, healthy, takes just 20 minutes to make, uses only one pot. It's one of my favorite things to make on those cold, rainy, dreary days when you just want to be inside and cozy. Let's go ahead and get started. For this dish, we are going to be using a lot of ingredients that you probably already have on hand. So of course, the star of the dish, we've got 2 cans of cannellini beans. And if you've got navy beans at home, they will also work as well. We've got 1/4 of a cup of olive oil, 5 to 6 cloves of fresh garlic, and in my opinion, you can never have too much garlic. 1 medium onion, and we're gonna dice this guy up pretty finely. And I've got a block of Parmesan cheese here. I always have one of these in my fridge. And we are going to use 1 cup of finely grated Parmesan cheese. You can also use pre-shredded Parmesan cheese, but just do not use that powdered Parmesan in the green can. Delicious on spaghetti, but it's not going to work for this dish. I've got some fresh rosemary here. We are going to use about 1 tablespoon of this. 1 cup of vegetable broth or chicken broth, whatever you've got. A little bit of salt and pepper. And then I've got 2 cups of baby spinach here. This is another ingredient that I've always got in my fridge. You can also use kale or Swiss chard. They would also be delicious in this dish. And then a dash of lemon juice at the end just to brighten things up. We are going to start by prepping our ingredients. And for our garlic, we are going to go ahead and slice the garlic. And we are slicing our garlic instead of mincing it. We're going to start by browning these in our olive oil to make some garlic chips that we're going to drizzle over everything at the end. And it's actually one of my favorite parts of this dish. Next, we are just going to chop up this rosemary. And I just like to go ahead and then just pull down and strip the leaves off there. This guy's being a little stubborn. Oh my gosh, I'm already getting that woodsy aroma that rosemary is famous for. And we are just gonna go ahead and chop these up here. I'm just gonna move the rosemary over to this little bowl. Whenever a recipe calls for cheese, I think it is always worth it to get the whole block of cheese instead of getting pre-shredded. It's a lot more economical and it's also a lot more flavorful. We are going to use the little holes on our box grater to finely grate this. Again, if you've already got pre-shredded Parmesan in your fridge, that's certainly fine to use as well. Just gonna move that over to our bowl. I like to save dicing my onions for last. That way the fumes aren't hanging out bothering my eyes while I prep the rest of my ingredients. Each end of the onion here. Giving a slice down the middle. Remove the skin from each side of the onion. And then we are going to slice each half down the middle. And then finally cut this into dices. Ooh, this onion's a little potent. Got this large cast iron pan over medium heat, and we are going to go ahead and add in 1/4 of a cup of olive oil. And then our garlic chips. All right, and we are just going to brown up our garlic chips in this olive oil. And you want to take care that they do not burn because no one likes the taste of burnt garlic. It is a very hard taste to cover up. We are just going to transfer our garlic chips to a bowl. And you want to leave at least a tablespoon of that olive oil in the pan. To our garlic scented olive oil, we are just going to add in our onions. And then also our chopped rosemary. And this is really going to wake up that rosemary flavor. And we're just going to cook these onions for about a minute or two, or until they're soft and fragrant. I am already getting that really woodsy, piney scent from the rosemary. It smells delicious. I have gone ahead and drained and rinsed those 2 cans of white cannellini beans. And again, if you've got navy beans at home, you can certainly use those. We're just going to add that right in there. And then I've got 1 cup of chicken stock here. You can also use vegetable stock if you're keeping things vegetarian, or if that's what you've got in your pantry. Let these beans cook for about 4 to 5 minutes, or until it comes up to a simmer. Our beans have come up to a simmer. I am going to stir in my salt and pepper, and then we're going to add in our shredded Parmesan cheese, and we are going to add this in about a third at a time. And as we slowly add in our Parmesan, we are just going to stir that in after each addition. And that is going to melt together with the beans and the broth and just make this delicious creamy sauce. Then I'm going to add in 2 cups of baby spinach, and this is going to cook down into nothing. So it may seem like a lot right now, but it's really just going to melt down and incorporate into the dish. And again, you can also use kale or Swiss chard, or if you want a little bit of bite, either turnip or mustard greens, really just any greens you have on hand. And then as our spinach cooks down, I am just going to add about a tablespoon of lemon juice. And this is just going to brighten up the dish and bring a little bit of acid and make all the flavors really sing. All right, so our beans are all done. The last thing we need to do is just give it a little drizzle of those garlic chips that we made in the beginning. This looks and smells amazing. So with some simple pantry ingredients, we made something that is cozy, hearty, healthy, and really just special. And of course, the last thing we need to do is give this a little taste. There is so much flavor in here from the garlic and the Parmesan and the rosemary. This is super easy to make, and it's just so good. You guys are gonna love this. You can find a link to the recipe below or at casualfoodist.com. And be sure to like this video and subscribe to the Casual Foodist for more recipes like this.